So let us discuss the hygiene of milk plant and the dairy equipment. As we understand, the dairy equipments, whether it is utensils or the conduits that carry the milk or the milk product, need to be properly cleaned and kept sanitized. Otherwise, there is a buildup of the dirt that we call it as a soil, and this soil in due course of time contaminates the product, leading to breach in the hygienic production practices. So today's topic is very important because until and unless the dairy equipment is kept hygienic, you cannot expect the good quality products. So we'll discuss the basic tenets of the hygiene. When we talk about the hygiene is cleaning and sanitation. These are the two complementary processes. Without cleaning, if you sanitize, the efficiency will be low, and cleaning complements the sanitization process in that perspective. And second, there is a specific sequence of operation when we talk about the cleaning in place, those equipments and utensils that cannot be dismantled. We have to clean wherever and however they are. This process we call it as a CIP, or cleaning in place. And when we talk about the cleaning in place, and in today's dairy industry or any industry for that matter, there is a standard SOP, standard operating procedure for operating such a sequence of chemicals and the water that we call it as a CIP. So as the young graduates of veterinary, and you are also the custodians of the public health, so you should know how to clean and how to sanitize the surface that comes in contact with the food. And the first half of our discussion is related to the dairy, and second half of the same topic we extrapolated to other than dairy. So milk is an excellent medium for the growth of microorganisms that we studied. And we have to select a suitable sanitizer in order to get rid of these microbial growth. There are several factors that influence the cleaning and sanitization process. We should understand what these factors are, what is the Shinner's circle. So in what way the components of the Shinner's circle, they have profound influence on the efficiency of the cleaning and sanitization process that we have to understand. I told you, cleaning and sanitization are complementary processes. Rather, we have to run that in that sequence only. Cleaning first, followed by sanitization. When sanitization is accompanied by the cleaning, its efficiency gets enhanced. That's why the sanitization process is complemented by the cleaning process. How it is brought about, what are all the agents that are used to bring about such a sanitization, we'll study it later. Any one process, applying sanitization without the cleaning process, it is inefficient in handling the microorganisms, because any sanitizer will not penetrate, will not bring about the antimicrobial activity in the absence of a proper cleaning process. Cleaning process will eliminate all that milk residue and what we call it as a soil. And when this soil is removed, and when you apply the sanitizers, that the efficiency of this process, hygiene process, is enhanced. So what are the difference? When I talked about the cleaning and sanitization, when they are two different steps, so what are they and what is the difference? We'll understand here. Cleaning is simply washing, removal of the soil from the surface. Soil, again, you keep it in mind, soil here means nobody has put the soil, earth. and brought and put in the dairy utensils. Soil here means anything that is a remnant of the usage. You have used a utensil for the preparation of the kova, the left out is a soil. You have used a tubing or a pipeline for pasteurization process, but still some residue that remains in the tubing or the pipeline is a soil. So soil here is anything which is residual of the milk to the build-up of the milk stone. Everything we call it as the soil only. And the cleaning agents are nothing but the detergents. The detergents are those agents that will make the cleaning process easy because they help in the dislodging of the soil from the food surface. So in other words to say, cleaning agents are the compounds or the substances that are helping us in cleaning or getting rid of the soil from the food surface. So this is what is cleaning is. Cleaning is a process of removal of both visible and invisible dirt. Visible in the sense of eyes, invisible means small minute traces that is still remaining on the food surface that requires to be cleaned because these microorganisms require a microenvironment for the growth that we should not leave. Then you come to the sanitization process. The agents that are used are known as the sanitizers. Then what is the sanitization? Sanitization is the destruction of all pathogenic organisms and almost all non-pathogenic microorganisms from the food surface. Here it is equipment surface. Okay, equipment that comes in contact with the food is the food contact surface. So simply I may call it as the surface of that equipment that comes in contact with the food. This at this point means this surface, we are ensuring that all pathogenic organisms are killed so that food safety is ensured. So without sanitizers, food safety is next to impossible because it is going to kill all pathogenic organisms. And second half you see, almost all non-pathogenic microorganisms. What does it mean? We are using sanitization as a process to eliminate the microorganisms as much as possible. When we talk about these microorganisms, all pathogenic organisms and as much as possible non-pathogenic organisms means at the end of sanitization, there are some traces of microorganisms still surviving. But what is the nature of these pathogens? These are not disease-producing organisms. Okay, that's what is the sanitization. The sanitizers are those substances, compounds or the substances that bring about sanitization. Then what is sanitization? You know that all pathogens and almost all. Almost all here is, what is almost all? How much is almost all? It is 99.99%. Okay, so no scientist can exactly calculate 99.999%. Means some traces still they are left after sanitization, but they are safe organisms. Why they are safe? They are not pathogens. You may ask again a question, sir, why can't we achieve zero bacteria, zero microorganisms? Our aim is that, but it is not attainable. Why it is not attainable? This is what what we call it the sterilization process. Sterilization process is a very costly affair. That is why we go for the sanitization, okay, rather than sterilization. Then what are the factors that influence this cleaning and then sanitization? Okay, sometimes I will discuss them individually and sometimes I will discuss them together for making you to convince you in a better way. The factors that affect cleaning are, when I say cleaning, so removal of the dirt, dust from the food contact surface. What is important here is what concentration of the cleansing agent that we are using. What is the contact period? Okay, so higher is the concentration, more is the effect. Longer is the contact period, more is the effect. Detergent composition, is it the 1, is it the 2, or is it the composite detergent solution that we are using. Mechanical action. Are we just applying in the form of a spray or a sprinkle or the flooding, or we are accompanying this process with certain scrubbing or mechanical agitation process? This is what the mechanical action is. Then washing temperature. So you know that the chemical process is enhanced by increased temperature. So if you increase bit the temperature of the detergents, there is a enhanced cleansing activity. Then what kind of surface we are cleaning? Is it SS304? Is it some delicate rubber that we are using? What surface we are cleaning? That they all influence the process of cleaning. So in other words to say, the factors such as what kind of surface, is it the stainless steel, is it the aluminum, is it some composite metal such as brass, is it glass, is it ceramic, is it a wood, is it a plastic? All are expected in the industry in particular. Then what is the soil type? Is the soil type a soluble one, soluble air in the sense water soluble, or is it insoluble in the water? What kind of chemistry, how the soil is adhering to the surface? It deals with the bonding type of the bonding the soil is having with the surface. And what kind of water quality we are using? Is it the soft water? Is it the moderately hard water? Or is it a hard water that we are using? Or what is the composition of the water? And what is the microbial quality of the water? They all have influence on efficiency of cleaning, and this cleaning has got effect on the sanitization. What kind of cleaning technique? Are we manually with hands we are scrubbing and bringing about the cleansing effect? Or there are some mechanical devices that have been fitted into the system. So way back in the year 1959, okay, when this one of the largest supplier in Germany of these detergents was the Henkel. Okay, in that there was a fellow by name Dr. Hubert Sinner. Dr. Hubert Sinner, he's popularly known for this Sinner's circle. Okay, you can see this Sinner's circle. So Sinner's circle is made up of 4 components. One component is when you use a detergent, okay, longer the duration time, so more is the effect. Okay, action, it is nothing but the mechanical action. More is the scrubbing, more is the application of the dynamic energy, making kinetic. Okay, more is the action. Okay, the chemical concentration, that higher is the concentration, better it is. Temperature, more is the temperature, better it is. So these 4 components which are very important for the action of a detergent that brings about the cleaning activity on the food surface. So this Sinner circle is very much used in the food industry. Very much used in the food industry. And when we deal with the efficiency of cleaning, we have to keep it in mind. This Sinner circle is nothing but the cleansing agents that are applied to the dairy surface, and they are checked with respect to the temperature, time, temperature combination, the chemical action and mechanical action that we discussed. If you properly clean the dairy equipment, what will happen? And if you won't clean it properly, what will happen? So these are 2 different scenarios. To our left side, so poor, if you want to clean properly, cleaning is inefficient or improper, then the quality of the product will also be inferior one. And often it will be unsafe for the human consumption because it is having the pathogenic organisms. Increased utility or consumption. What is being consumed here? All those consumables that are used in the food industry, they are more consumed. Okay, wastage increases, and all these things would lead to the damage of the brand name in the market. That is why there is a need for proper cleaning. So when you properly clean all these food surfaces, you following a recommended instructions, so the product brand name will increase in the market. The product shelf life is going to increase, and that the food becomes safe for human consumption. Okay, the food becomes safe for human consumption. These are the things that are brought about. Okay, now the cleaning process is a science-based process. Okay, science-based in the sense that there are lot many biomolecules. There is protein, there is fat, there is carbohydrate. All of them are soil now. Why are they soil now? Because the equipment has been already used up. Now it has to be kept ready for the next usage. And before it is ready for the next usage, it has to undergo this hygienic process, cleaning and sanitization process. So in achieving that, the other factors and the inner circle that we discussed, they are very important. So let us understand some more thing about the soil. Okay, what is the soil? The residual means leftover of any milk or the milk product on the equipment or the utensil or the food surface is a soil. Okay, this soil can get modified by the heat. Okay, when the same utensil is, if the soil is remaining there, and when next time when same utensil is utilized with a heat, there is a modification process. There is a physical change and there are chemical changes leading to making the soil more complex. And when it becomes more complex and the complex chemical and physical interactions that occur between the food surface and this soil, it becomes difficult to remove that. Okay, when it becomes difficult to remove that, that stays. And when it stays, it spoils the brand in the market because it is going to be the source of contamination. That is why we want a surface which is ideally absolutely free from the soil, the food surface. That's what is our requirement. Okay, so different kinds of soil include the liquid milk in the form of a film. Okay, film here because the milk has passed through that surface. That's why a thin film of milk has adhered to the food surface. Let it be the can, let it be the pasteurizer pipeline. Air dried film. When same surface is exposed for a long time, the surface of the water content of the surface that gets evaporated, leading to the dry residue. Okay, heat precipitated film. Heat precipitated film means the protein casein complexometrically attached with the minerals calcium, making a complex. This complex, because the heat has precipitated these proteins, that gets adhered. Heat hardened film. Okay, the same what happened earlier has become hardened now, and now it is appearing in the form of a milk stone. In addition to this, there could be other foreign matters also. The dirt, dust, insects, all that we call it as a soil. So if at all you want to get rid of these things from the surface, you have to undertake the cleaning process. Okay, so that this soil, the residual film or the soil is taken away. But at the same time, the surface is not damaged. Okay, you have some very harsh treatment, and this harsh treatment requires use of certain chemicals, and these chemicals are having corrosive action on the metal surface. Means what's the use of that? So when you use a cleaning and sanitization process, it should be compatible with the food handling surface. Okay. So we discussed about the soil. Soil is any undesirable foreign matter on the surface, and it is very heterogeneous mixture of many substances. Okay, there are certain physical properties and there are certain chemical properties associated with the soil. Now, the soil could be classified as soluble in water. Okay, sugars, starch, salts, some of the salts, okay, they are all soluble in the water. It is a soluble soil, a water soluble soil. Acid soluble soil, okay, until you use the acid, it is difficult to remove. Examples: limestone, mineral deposits. Alkali soluble soil, okay, protein, fat emulsions, they require alkali such as lime or sodium hydroxide for removal, okay. And the last is all this combination of three: water, acid and alkali, okay, in which it is soluble, that is, okay. At times what happens, rather than the physical or the chemical processes, there is a built-up of the microorganisms over the food surface in the form of a biofilm. Okay, biofilms are due to certain mucilaginous or carbohydrate substances that are synthesized by these microorganisms that makes them to cling together, and are also at the time of this aggregation of the microorganisms, the ability of them to cling to the food surface. That is a more complex one. This is what we call it as a complex matrix of biofilms, and these biofilms will be more heat resistant because they form a complex array, and heat penetration in the center becomes difficult. When heat won't penetrate into the center, whenever the such a food surface is handled, subsequently from the center, the bacteria or the microorganisms are introduced into the product. So disobeying what we call it as quality assurance. Okay, so that's the way in which the food becomes contaminated. From where? From the food surface. From what? From microorganisms. Is it a normal planktonic microorganism? No. Okay, it is those microorganisms that have been fixed into the food, and that we call it as a biofilm. Okay, these biofilms, they are the source of infection. They are nuisance in the food industry. Next, the processes of development. First, the microorganism adheres, it grows in number, that particular colony matures, okay. Then it starts detachment, and when it got detached, okay, just like vegetative growth, so wherever it finds the next place, it gets again attached. Okay, so pseudomonas and a large number of microorganisms, they all can form the biofilms on the food surface. Even there is a quorum sensing over there. Quorum sensing means they can cross-talk these microorganisms. They can transfer the genetic elements responsible for formation of the biofilms. So biofilms, that's why they are the nuisance to any food industry. And the food surface acts as the matrix for the attachment. Okay. So regarding this soil, I talked in detail. So biofilms and the soil and the biofilm as a soil, they all have their own contributions. Soil can also be categorized as organic soil or inorganic soil. Organic soil means containing organic substances, organic molecules such as carbohydrate, protein, and fat. These are all the organic soils. Inorganic means mostly containing the minerals. So minerals that are all getting adhered. So that's what is the inorganic soil. At times it is a complex of both organic and inorganic. So that is more complex matrix to be cleansed by using simpler means. Okay. One more popular term that you hear in the dairy industry is the milk stone. Milk, stone means stone also, So stone means something which is a hard entity, in an inorganic entity which is very hard enough, that you call it as the stone. The milk itself has transformed into a stone. Don't assume that stone means big pebbles or marble like thing that will be there. Milk stone means a small. You can see here, this is the food surface. Over this, there is deposition of this particular material that we call it as a stone. And how it is formed? It is formed by the residual milk which has been subjected to heat treatment. Okay, residual milk upon heat treatment has a complexometrically. So what has happened? The calcium, which is there as a milk mineral, and this phosphate that has come through the proteins or the casein has undergone the several processes such as precipitation, coagulation, or baking, etc. And now it has formed a salt which is insoluble in the water. So this is what the hard substance deposit that has been formed over the food surface. You call it as a milk stone. Okay, stone like soil. Okay, after all, milk stone is a soil. If you see the composition of this particular milk soil, it is made up of moisture is very less here, 2.7 to 8.7%. Fat 3.6 to 17.7%. Protein 4.4 to 43.8%. Okay, the fat and protein are organic. Water is, as you if you see mineral content, as you see, it is 42% and above. That is what is. That's why we call it as a stone. Okay, why we call it as a stone? Because it is calcareous, it is hard, and it is stone-like. That's why milk stone. The detergents are the substances that bring about cleansing action. That bring about the cleansing action, and when we select the detergent for the dairy or any food industry, it should have certain characteristics. Okay, any chemical detergent cannot be recommended for the purpose of the cleansing the food surface. Okay, we have food grade detergents that are available in the market that can be used for dairy and other industries such as meat or egg. Okay, there are so many classes and categories of detergents that are available in the market. Which one to select? Okay, then there becomes a list essential to identify, to note that these are all the desirable properties in this detergent so that we can use them. What are those? Wetting power. Okay, wetting power in the sense it should get easily wetted with the water. Penetration power, it should penetrate deep into the soil. Emulsification, fat it should remove by emulsification process. Deflocculation, the protein that has denatured and has formed a bond with the material surface, okay, food surface has to be deflocculated. Sequestration, it should go deeper and then bring about the action in the soil. Chelation, it should take out the minerals by chelation process. Quick and complete solubility, very quickly it has to do it. If it does from action 1 to 7 and it takes hours and days, it is of no use. It should bring the action in seconds and minutes. Okay, that's what it should be, very quick and completely soluble. So when you cleanse it with the water, later on, after performing its duty, it should run away from that place. It should be easily cleansable later on once the action is over. Then, non-corrosive to the metal surface. If it reacts with the metal surface or it changes the color of the metal surface, it's of no use. That's why. Free rinsing. Free rinsing means when after bringing about the action, when you put a gentle pressure of the water, it should rinse away. Storage stability. Okay, it should be stable at room temperature. Can be kept in the storehouse for some time. Okay, some months it should have storage stability. If it is having some years, that is well and good. Mild on hands. The person who uses this, okay, at the recommended dosage, it should be mild on hands. If it brings about the damage to the sensitive skin, manual cleaning is not possible. That's why. germicidal property. If in addition to the cleansing action, if it is also having some germicidal property, that's good. And 1 to 13 property it is having some hypothetical detergent, and it is very expensive. Nobody can use it. It should be economical. Okay, it should have 1 to 13 points. In addition to that, it could be purchasable. Okay, easily purchasable, cheaply available. That is the requirement. And when you see all these desirable properties in the detergent, so there is not even a single compound that meets all these desirable requirements of the properties. That is why sometimes what they do, properties of different chemicals, okay, detergents, they are mixed together, they are compounded so that a commercial dairy detergent or a commercial food grade detergent is prepared. The dairy detergents are classified like this: alkalis, acids, polyphosphates, and gelatin substances, and surface active or the wetting agents. Okay, where all these detergents are applicable. You see this is the entire process of any dairy process. Okay, wherein raw milk is converted into pasteurized product, or butter is produced, milk powder is produced, cheese is produced, whatever it is. Ultimately, so lot of these processes may all these processes require the cleaning. So at these places, these acid, alkali, polyphosphate or surface active agents have to be used. At the end, when the effluent that comes out of the plant, milk processing plant, and when it cannot be removed, no, it is mixed with the effluent now. So there should be easy mechanism. It should have environmental safety, so that it is not very toxic to the ecotoxic, okay, to the environment. So that also we have to keep it in mind when it comes to the selection of the ideal detergent in the dairy industry. That is the concern. Let us discuss some of these acids, alkalis, phosphates, and surface active agents. The property. We can use two kinds of alkalis. Either we can use the strong alkali, especially that bring about the saponification of the fat, or we can use weak alkalis. These weak alkalis dissolve proteins. The examples of alkalis include the sodium hydroxide, otherwise known as caustic soda, sodium carbonate, washing soda, sodium phosphate, sodium bicarbonate or carbonate, sodium silicate or sodium sulfite. These are the inhibitors that are used. Why the inhibitors are used, we will discuss later. Now, the acid category of detergents include, again, just like the alkali, we can use either the mild acid or strong acid. The mild acids, they are going to help us in removing the milk stone, or strong acids. Okay, they are used at 1% level, especially to hasten the cleansing process on the stainless steel surface. The examples for mild acids include the phosphoric acid, tartaric acid, citric acid, gluconic acid, and hydroacetylenic acid. The strong acids are the nitric acids that are used. Polyphosphates and mineral chelating agents. Okay, these are not used usually as an individual entity. They are mixed with either acids or the alkalis. Okay, examples include the tetraphosphate, hexametaphosphate, tripolyphosphate, and pyrophosphate. These are the examples. The last category of detergents include detergents are nothing but cleansing agents, the surface active or wetting agents. Okay, these are either used alone or they are coupled with with acids and alkalis. Examples include TPOL. TPOL is a market name for sodium dodecyl benzene sulfonate. Ethanol N, iodate 10. So even we can use the common soap, which are the surface active agents. So like this, the detergents are categorized as alkalis, acids, polyphosphates, and chelating agents, surface active agents. So after cleaning, there is a particular sequence of cleaning. After that, we go for sanitization process. Okay, when I take the individual cleaning of either can or CIP, I am going to discuss about the sequence. But before that, let us understand what these sanitizers are. Sanitizers, just like detergents, they also have certain desirable properties. Okay, it's, it should be non-toxic, quickly acting, non-corrosive to the hands and the equipment, easily available and usually that can be applied and economical. So these are some of the desirable properties in the sanitizers. Again, just like detergents, there can be single or there can be combination of the sanitizers. The best sanitizer is the steam. Okay, best sanitizer because there is no chemical residue that remains. There is no issue with respect to the effluent handling. So the steam, hot water, these are the best sanitizers. They bring about killing of all pathogens and almost all 99.99% non-pathogens. So that's what is the action the steam does or the hot water does. However, at the normal temperature or room temperatures, chemicals are used. Okay, these are elevated temperatures. For that, we require specific installation in the dairy plant. Okay, these chemicals won't require the energy production or heat. Examples include the chlorine containing compounds, the iodophores, or the quaternary ammonium compounds. And these sanitizers are applied, okay, especially the chemical type of sanitizers are applied in the form of a flush, spray, or their surface is brushed using the sanitizers, or fogging is done, or submersion. Okay, in a sanitizer container, you submerge the equipment surface. So like this, they are applied. So let us discuss the different kinds of chemical sanitizers. Chlorine compounds. Chlorine is administered as a chlorine gas. Chlorine gas is applied to the water. Then the residual chlorine that appears, that brings about sanitization effect. You can use the chloramines, hypochlorites, hexachlorophenol, dichloroisocyanic acid, and trichloroisocyanic acid. These are the different formulations by which the chlorine is applied. Remember, chlorine is the chemical which is having antimicrobial property and it can be applied in all three forms, solid, liquid, and gaseous form. But ultimate action is it is related to the when the chlorine gets reacted with the water. Okay, this is what is HOCl. Okay, hypochlorous acid and hypochlorite ion. These are the things that are these are the moieties that are produced in the water that are having antimicrobial activities. That to bacteria. Chlorine is not effective against the certain viruses and the bacterial spores, but it brings about the sanitization effect. And chlorine is the best known, cheaply available, economic sanitizer that can be applied to any food industry. Iodophores. Iodophores are iodine-containing substances. Okay, with these, chlorine and iodine are the halogens, and they are having antimicrobial activity. So iodine is an oxidizing agent, very strong oxidizing agent. Okay, it oxidizes the sulfhydryl groups. Okay, so then it brings about the bactericidal action. Next is the quaternary ammonium compounds. Quaternary ammonium compounds are chemical sanitizers. Large, a family of quacks are used in the dairy industry. Most common is acetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide. Okay, benzalkonium chloride, that is also used. So like this, there are large number of these compounds. So they inactivate the enzymes which are important for microorganisms growth and metabolism. Second, they are the surface active substances. They bring about a disintegration or denaturation of the proteins. Okay. So how these cleaning and sanitization programs are clubbed to bring about the hygiene of the equipment. So the steps are like this. 5 steps. Okay. Number 1, dry clean. Dry clean means all these residual material, whether it is a solid or a liquid, that has to be removed by the physical separation means. Okay. You can use the brush, you can use the wipers, you can use the uh, any sponge, whatever it is. Okay. Dry cleaning. Second is pre-rinsing. For a brief period, you just wet the surface. Okay, that's what is pre-rinsing. Now you apply the detergent. Okay, when you apply the detergent, okay, sufficient amount of organic matter has already been removed. Now, whatever that is left and which cannot be removed by the dry cleaning has to be done with wet cleaning, wherein using a scrubber properly scrub the surface. Then you see that all this detergent along with that soil vacates the place. This is done by the rinse. This is what is known as the post detergent rinse. Once all these, this up to 1 to 4, they are cleaning steps. Okay. Then fifth step is you go for sanitization. Sanitization, usually what they do, whatever it is, whether it is a hot steam or a chemical, it is applied. Okay. After application, so if it is steam, nothing need to be done. Okay. Only it has to be dried. If it is a chemical, then one more rinse is given. If it is a chemical sanitizer, one more rinse is used, given at the end. And before use, one more hot water or the plain water rinse is given, then it is used. Okay, the quality of the water that is applied at the end is very important. And second thing that is very important is the drying of the surface. Okay, nothing should stay on the surface other than the material itself. There should not be any water, there should not be any detergent, there should not be any remnant of a sanitizer still remaining on the surface. Otherwise, the surface potentially would act as a source of contamination. And what is the source of contamination here? It is the residual of the detergent or the sanitizer, which is not expected. So each of these processes have been explained here. Dry cleaning, I already explained this. Pre-rinsing and the cleaning process. After cleaning, application of a sanitizer. So these are 1 to 5 steps. Okay. Equipment and the areas that should be cleaned. Equipment disassembly, cleaning frequency, cleaning tools, the cleaning solutions. They are all interlinked and in the form of a step. They are important for any cleaning program in any food industry for that matter, and now it is dairy industry. Okay. Then methods of cleaning. Based on the mode of application of these cleaning and sanitization processes, we call it as either manual or hand cleaning, automated or mechanical cleaning. Third is cleaning in place or CIP. Okay, these are the 3 ways by which we clean. The clean in the sense here cleaning includes sanitization also. Cleaning and sanitization of dairy equipment or simply maintenance of hygiene of the dairy equipment is brought about by manual cleaning or cleaning by mechanical means using a machine or cleaning by CIP, where it is in whichever form without dismantling the equipment, we have to clean at that spot itself, that we call it as the CIP. Come to the cleaning steps. Again, same five steps that are applicable here. Rinse with the water. Cold water here means the tap water. Depending on the room temperature of that particular area, you use the water, rinse it. And before this rinsing, see that dry cleaning is there. Okay, dry cleaning is there. Then you go for rinsing with the water. Then you go for application of the detergent. So detergent, sufficiently you apply the detergent. Okay, usually we prepare a detergent which is having a acidity or alkalinity somewhere up to 1%. Okay, up to 1%. Then temperature of about 50 degrees. If you use more temperature, there is condensation of the moisture in the food plant leading to the environment that becomes more microbial growth or contamination prone. That's why if you use the water at a lower temperature, that will not bring about the desirable efficient detergent cleansing action, what we call it as. So that's why 50 is an ideal. It neither produces the vapor nor it is going to affect the detergent efficiency. So comfortable zone. Next is the after application of the detergent. In addition to this, there is a mechanical force that is applied to dislodge the soil. Go for water rinsing. So using the tap water, so remove all the traces of the detergent. Along with that, the soil also has been removed now. Draining. Okay, at times when it is a manual cleaning, keep simply the equipment upside down. So all that gets drained away. So 1 to 2 hours you go for the draining come drying it is. Okay. Then just before use, you go for the sanitization. Just before use, 1 to 2 hours have already been passed. Okay, after usage of food surface equipment. So 1 to 2 hours, yeah, after cleaning, after use, clean it. Okay, then before use, sanitize it. Okay, using steam or a hot water or a chlorine at 200 ppm available chlorine just before you use it. This is how you can make use of the manual or the hand washing. I recommend, since majority of your hostelites, I recommend same process for you to clean your hostel plates, okay, and equipments, because it is manual one, number one, and number two, it can be easily achieved using these 5 steps. Canvas. When you talk about the milk industry, cans are very essential to carry the milk from the milk is carried from different milk collection centers, and then it has to be subjected to the uh, further process. So it is carried in the cans. So these cans have to be properly washed, and there are different makes of the cans that are available. So what we can do is we have to drain or remove all liquid milk residue, whatever that is there in the previous usage. Pre-rinsing, pump cold or lukewarm water. Okay, that's what is pre-rinsing. Drain the water. Detergent rinse more than 70 degrees temperature detergent. Drain the water. Rinse, pressure wash with a steam. You can use the water ejector. Temperature is more than 88 degrees centigrade. Then fresh water rinsing. So pressure wash with steam using water ejector, 88 to 93 degrees centigrade. Then finally, live steam injection. Okay, inject the steam into the can. Okay, hot air drying at 95 to 115 degrees centigrade. So can be washed. For washing cans, majority of the dairies, whether the private dairies or the cooperative dairies, they keep automatic can washing platform, and in that it is a computer programmed platform. Continuously, the moment the can comes, when it gets decanted in the milk collection center, there in the dairy processing plant, all the water so milk that gets drained out, and water at various temperature along with the detergent. So you can see here the steam itself is a sanitizer. Okay, in place of the chemical sanitizers, steam is used. That is a sanitizer here. So finally air dried, and immediately that is ready for uh, the takeaway by the supplier with the same vehicle. Bottle wash. Nowadays, bottle reuse is not that popular, but earlier milk used to be collected in the bottle, and this bottle after usage used to go to the processing plant for further rewashing and refilling. So now it is being discouraged. consequent to the multi-laminate packaging that we call as USD product, and likewise. And we have got other food grade polythenes or polymers wherein the fluid milk is packed. So that's why nowadays we are not finding bottles. But even in some of the European countries, even today, bottle usage is in practice because they do not like to use plastic, because plastic leach in the sense, no? The erosion of some polymers and entry of that into the milk product, and they are all the known carcinogens. That's why the conscious customers there in the Europe, in some of the places, not all, some of the places, they do not like to have these pouches. Rather they would prefer to get the milk in the glass bottles. And how to wash these bottles? Pre-rinsing with water 32 to 38 degrees centigrade, detergent mostly 1 to 3% caustic soda at high temperature 60 to 75, and warm water rinse, then cold normal water rinse, and finally the drying of the bottles. CIP means cleaning in place, and this cleaning is in place is used for those equipments that cannot be dismantled. Example, pasteurizer. Okay, our hands, we cannot every time the HTST pasteurizer will open it and again. It's not possible because the equipment should be ready for the next batch of the milk that comes in. That is why they are cleaned as it is where they are. This is what we call it as a CIP, without dismantling a dairy equipment. And the procedure that is followed for the CIP is pre-rinse. Okay, allow the water to flow through a particular duration. Okay, the normal water, the tap water. Okay, and discharge the other end of the system to the drain. Okay, this should be ensured, otherwise all that waste will enter into the collection silos. Acid rinse with phosphoric acid solution, which is having 0.15 to 0.6%. Okay, we have to properly rinse the system. By recirculation, 65 to 71 degrees centigrade, 20 to 30 minutes. What is the recirculation? Means whatever that comes out of the exit of a system is not let into the drains. The same thing continues. Okay. The strength of acid is monitored. If there is loss of the strength, so that has to be discarded. Okay. Next, drain out acid solution. Now the rinsing process, acid rinse process is over by the recirculation only. Because for 20 minutes you cannot give a new you cannot make the new acid to enter. So whatever that is circulated, that has to go out. That's what we call it the recirculation. Then hot water rinse, 65 to 71 degrees centigrade, 5 to 7 minutes rinse. Okay, then whatever water that comes out, you put it to drain. Okay, means other end you open it. Alkali rinse. Alkali rinse here in the sense the alkali, which is having the alkalinity. In the practical class, we are going to measure this strength of acids and alkalis. Some more discussion on this we'll have in the practical. 0.15 to 0.6%, just like acid. Again, this is also recirculated, 65 to 71, 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, wetting agent may be added to increase the wettability or increase the efficiency of the cleaning process. Then for 20 to 30 minutes of recirculation, you drain out all that alkali solution. Okay. Finally, use the hot water rinse 71 to 82 degrees centigrade. You cleanse the whole system. Okay, whole system, and you have to circulate this one until the temperature is attained. Okay, and whatever that water that is there, that has to be drained out. So like this, the instrument is cleaned at that place only, and you remember these steps. So pre-rinse with normal water, acid rinse, the alkali rinse, hot water rinse. These are the things associated with CIP. Okay, the same thing has been put here in the form of a flow diagram. Okay, so alkali acid, that's very important for CIP. Then what are the merits of CIP? Each corner of a equipment receives uniform treatment. If it would have been by human, okay, whenever human being is in good mood, must have cleaned properly, and whenever they are in bad mood, probably they are not done. And when it comes to a good efficient worker, must have been done properly. If there is an inefficient worker, this is what you call human error. Such a thing is eliminated because it is system control. In majority of the dairy farms, such a CIP is automated. Okay, they make a computer program, recirculation of time, temperature combination, they fix it, and they are connected to a sink wherein these tanks, wherein the alkali acids, they are all stored. So automatically it does that job. So it totally it saves the cost and man hours. Okay, if it would have been the manual one, lot of labor involvement would have been there, and efficiency also was not guaranteed while it was manual. But CIP, it is more efficient, and it reduces the possibility of contamination. If you use the humans unnecessarily, they may move from here to there, and they may bring about their requirements in the form of a brush, scrubber, a detergent, everything. That's likely to add the contamination. Okay, that's why human errors, they are eliminated, and it is going to ensure the better cleaning and sanitization process. So when we use the CIP, the proper pipes and fittings must be used. The temperature of cleaning must be adequate. The velocity is also very important. Velocity in which the solutions and water they move in the pipeline, and the kinds of detergents and sanitizers that we use. Okay, acid, alkali that we use in the cleaning process, they are also important. And what are the types of this CIP? Okay, manual control, wherein you circulate the required acid alkali by control 20 to 30 minutes, by manually you control it. Second is automated, it is computerized. Okay, here you go for low level, medium level, high level. These are the things. So we'll discuss these things when we actually visit a dairy plant and see all these CIP systems. Okay, when we actually see, I will some more explain about these things. Okay, so this is all about cleaning and sanitation of the dairy equipment. We studied about the acids, we studied about alkalis, we studied about the phosphates and surface activations, the detergent properties. Then sanitizers we studied about their action. We studied about the manual cleaning, we studied about the CIP, and we also understood what a sanitizer is. Okay, what a disinfect this detergent is. Next class, what we will discuss is we'll differentiate between these terms. What is the sanitization? How it is different from disinfection? How it is different from the sterilization? And some more aspects associated with the cleaning. Although in the syllabus it is for only the milk they have mentioned, but likewise the meat industry, likewise the egg processing industry, all of them they use this cleaning and sanitization to keep the equipment surface hygienic. So those things will